Welcome back, everybody. Well, back out here in the shop. Been working on these WD-45s with this electronic ignition conversion, and so they've been getting a little other things done to them because, you know, you see stuff and, well, this is a good time to handle that. All right, so first, I don't know if you can see this. Maybe we can get the sun to shine on it. Oh, yeah, great. Maybe you can see it. Well, I cleaned that up with a file, and I think maybe the burr was right on that outer lip. There, let's kill my phone. I don't know. Well, it looks like we're still going. That's good. So it fits on this tractor very nicely now. It is easy to install, and that's good. At some point, and it's not going to happen today, I'm going to take the plow off of this one and make sure that at least that shaft will go on there as good as it does the other one. I have another shaft out in the shed. I'm going to make sure that it fits. There's probably more than that around here. I can't even remember. But moving on, in the mornings when I get up, I make coffee and I read the internet, and one of the sites that I read is Unofficial Alice Chalmers, religiously. And Dr. Alice had a public service announcement of his own this morning, and it's about these lift arm latches. And I did a quick count in my head, and what I come up with, like 7 tractors around here that have got snap coupler system on them. And this bolt, and this doesn't really surprise me, I'm going to come clean here, folks, is supposed to be on the outside, and that was the point of his post. And like I said, it doesn't surprise me, and you can see, being on the inside, that it's not square with the world. And that was what he said, is they need to be on the outside, and that squares your latch up with the arm. So these are both wrong, because my little peanut brain just, I don't know, inside seems right, so that's what I did. Now this tractor is interesting, because, and I don't know who did this, got one on the inside and one on the outside. So we're 50% on that one. That's 25 overall so far. The D15 now is also wrong, but I'm not going to take the fall for that one because I did not do that. That is the way it got here. I don't know. We'll walk over on the other. We got one other tractor within easy walking distance, and I don't even know if it's got latches on it. So we'll walk over here and have a look. This old D17. She kind of needs a radiator. I'm on the hunt for parts for this. Okay, so there's no latches on this. I can't remember if there were any on it when it came here or not. So we'll call that a win. Farmall 400 just got a standard drawbar, so we can't screw too much up there. Darn it, I left that phone, so we're gonna have to walk and talk some more. I am learning how to edit dead time out. So. Anyway, I've got another segment I'm gonna shoot, and I'll bring you back when I get ready to do that. All right. Found my slide light. That's good. Next stop on our lift arm latch procession is WD Misha, and hopefully you can see they're both on the inside too, and I'm pretty sure I'm the one that put them on there. So Grandpa WD is pin coupler and has no latches, so I couldn't screw that up. Gonna have to close this building up and go to a different one, so I'll bring you back later. All right, last segment of the lift arm latch story for the day anyway. And this is a CA, and Doc did not mention CAs, and I believe D10s and D12s use this same different style of latch. That one has a bolt on the outside, and so does this one. I don't know if it matters with these. They've got a nut on the inside, so they're kind of bolted on as opposed to being captured the way WDs are. I don't know. Got some other stuff to do. I need to get my segment shot on those 45s, and then I need to get that plow tractor moved out here because I need that spot in the shed for my little red pickup that I have to change a wheel bearing in. Gratuitous shot of the Oliver plow. And the new trailer, by God. So anyway, I'll bring you back when I get on with today's real video that I set out to shoot. All right, and now finally, we're on to the segment of the show that I originally intended to shoot today. And I got the idea for this when I started doing the PTO shaft and the electronic ignition and the drawbar and bail segments. After I got done timing the other 45, and we'll do a little segment over there later, I was putting, there's cover right here, hopefully you can see that, and up inside of there's a grease zerk. That grease zerk is for your throwout bearing, and that's one of those things that is just easy to forget about. And I had the cover buttoned up. I was ready to quit on that deal, and I went and got the creeper back out, and I thought, we're gonna grease that because it's kind of like your oil bath air cleaner cup. It's super easy to ignore and not think about, and then sadness happens. So my light would show me where we are. And I left the DeWalt grease gun because I think for what we're doing, the flexible hose would be a detriment, but I don't know, this gun is kind of funky. If it was working 100% right, I'd put 2 strokes in it and quit, but it's not working 100% right. So sometimes you only get about 1/3 of a shot, so a little more. There are zerks on the shaft on both sides. And I can't hold the camera and do that. And there's one pump and she's coming right out. All right. Somebody, and I'm gonna try to take credit for that, had the foresight to angle the zerks that are on that clutch and brake shaft pedals, so that you can grease them standing up, which is pretty nice. Yeah. The old farmer idiom, I don't know if that's the right word, but it sounds good. Grease till you see grease. And so that's what we kind of do. One here on the front bolster. Uh-oh. Well, there she took. Kinda. All right. I don't know. That may be it. This tractor has one here, I guess, and that is something that someone has added. That's not factory, but it's not a bad idea either. And probably not gonna actually grease it, but I'll show you. Oh, great. Greasing my creeper. And I really don't want to lay in that, so. Where did I put that? Am I sitting on it? Yes, I am. There is a Zerk on that. Is that it right there? Oh, it feels like, maybe not, I don't know. Oh, great. There's a Zerk on that U-joint, and man, that baby needs grease. I have replaced that U-joint on both tractors. Oh, and there's one right here we forgot about. So, I'm gonna have to set you down. I'll probably shut you off. I will get those greased after a while. I'm gonna bring you over to the other tractor because on a wide front, there is more stuff to do than on a narrow. I don't know if I really need the creeper, but I'm bringing it. Okay, so you got Zerks on the tie rod ends, and you've got one there on your knee. The one on the other knee is on the front because the knees are the same, and that's just the way it goes. I don't know. When I redid the front end on this tractor, somebody had the bright idea of putting a bunch of gear oil in that box, and it's been leaking out ever since. There's the one on the other knee. I greased all this stuff the other day. This one got a full lube job. I don't know, maybe we can, you see, this is actually an early part off an early WD. That's the cast iron, which I think is kind of cool as compared to the later one that is stamped and whatnot. What was I going to show you? Oh, yeah. There's the Zerk. Of course, you got to get the shaft turned the right direction to do it, and that's what I'm going to have to do with that other tractor. I don't know if I'm going to get that all done today. I probably should, would be better. I hate being in the middle of something, because then you forget things. Anyway, at some point in the game, I'm gonna take those weights off of there and there's a cover under there, and I'm going to use one of the few John Deere products that I actually like, and we're gonna put some cord head grease in there and forget about that, because I'm not naive enough to think that I'm going to live long enough to tear that bolster apart and seal it up and actually fix it. So the corn head grease will be an improvement. If I can find my phone, I'm going to shut you off here. That's probably rambled on enough. I need to get to town. I got to get a bearing bot for that little red pickup. I'm not going to... You do not need to see a grown man struggle as much as I'm going to struggle with that bearing tomorrow, folks. But it needs to get fixed. That truck's junk, but it's still viable transportation and usable. It's got about 235,000 miles on it now. And I have changed both bearings in the past, so this is not an original one. That works in my favor because I'm sure that the original probably lasted twice as many miles, so this one doesn't have near the amount of liquid corrosion applied to it that the original did. Anyway, we'll talk about that maybe a little tomorrow, but I'm not going to make you watch me struggle with that. So, thanks for watching. Alright, I'm going to shoot one more clip today. I swear this is the last one, and I don't know what order these are going to get compiled in, but I just couldn't let this go. I need to get in the house, get cleaned up, get some lunch, and then I have to go back to town and run some errands before I head off to work this afternoon. That little red truck needs a wheel bearing, and I don't stock them. They don't go out quite that often, thankfully. Anyway, this is the lift arm latch off that wide front 45 plow tractor, I like to call it. And it was, the lock bolt was on the wrong side, as discussed with the good doctor this morning. And, you know, trying to do a simple 2-minute job, I don't know, you can see that hole has a nice 3/4 10 thread in it. So the simple thing to do was to move the bolt to the other side, make it right, and no threads. So between that deal and the screwed up threads on the latch on that D15, I got to thinking about falling down the rabbit hole of sadness. Now, then I got further thinking, and it's really not a rabbit hole of sadness, it's more like a black hole of sadness, because the gravitational force is just unbelievable and just sucks me in. I'm not gonna debate this with you guys a whole lot longer. I'm gonna run a 3/4 10 through that hole. I will measure it to make sure it's close to tap drill size, but it's gonna get set up in the vise and tap probably tomorrow. Like I say, I need to get to town. I've got to get that bearing. I got to go to the pharmacy, has got some eardrops for me. Probably stop at the grocery store, and I've got an electric motor for my little cutoff saw that I let the smoke out of that I'm going to try to get dropped off and repaired, or maybe they can find a replacement, I don't know, but I need my little saw. So anyway, off to the house to compile this. Thanks for watching. Well, apparently I just can't shut up today, but I think this bears mentioning. This latch, and you can see, has got the boss, we'll call it, for the bar that was that started with the D17s. There are probably at least 5 generations of these latches. I don't know. If I was more knowledgeable on that, maybe and there's probably at least one from every generation here somewhere. Anyway, I want to say that this is D17. The early WD ones did not have, they weren't a casting like this. They were kind of they had some sheet metal characteristics. I don't know. We need to talk about that in a future video. We'll get there someday. Anyway, I think this is like the first generation that came out with the D17, but I could be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. These latches on this 15, I believe, are the last generation that would have been on a D19 or a 190 with a snap coupler. You can see on this one over here, because it's open, because I need a floor jack to get the plow hook back up, but they're real heavy duty. I like this style the best. I am not a period correct Nazi. I tend to favor better over correct. So anyway, that's just a little more lift arm latch trivia. Like I say, we can talk about that in the future.